Welcome back to another titillating, exciting, what's a synonym for titillating? I don't know. Fuck it, whatever. Welcome back to A Guide to Poor Parenting, a podcast where me, Jason,
and me, Jennifer,
try to find words that mean the same thing as exciting. And we have a few cocktails.
Yeah, talk shit about our kids.
That's right. And if you are on Twitter or Instagram, please follow us, Guide to Poor Parenting. Miss Jennifer, how's your week been?
So far, not so good.
Oh, it's only Tuesday now.
Right.
First week of March.
Yeah.
For us.
Yeah, little man's just been really bad in the morning. So it's been a lot of fighting with him.
Been grouchy.
He's a tween now. He's 12, so we'll see.
He knows everything.
Oh my gosh. He knows. I know. That's what he says all the time. And he's like, but I don't know because he doesn't.
Yeah. He's kind of like Donald Trump. He's so cocky, but it's like, you're dumb, kid.
Yep.
Like, you don't know what you're talking about.
That is very, very true. How's your week been?
Pretty good. I got the notice I'll get my second hip replaced in the beginning of next month. So I'm kind of like trepidatious. I don't know if that's the right word. Again, I need a thesaurus. I am kind of like looking forward to not limping all the time and being able to put a sock on without like old people. Yeah. Without the old person like sock puller. Yeah. Or, and
just walking.
Being able to not limp would be lovely.
Yeah.
And to be able to exercise again, because I'm scared to push it. And when we were in New Orleans not too long ago, it really tore up my leg to walk that much. Yep. And it's been popping a lot lately. So just yesterday, just any twist or turn really kind of made it hurt. I was like, God damn, I'm sick of this thing hurting.
And then having a kid where you automatically twist because they get in your way or something
they tackle
happens.
you.
It's just like, bam, okay, that hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we both have rambunctious children that want to like play tackle and hug. Yep. And well, I mean, partly that would like at least with me, I was always roughhousing with them before my hip injury. Yep. So they kind of expect that from me. And I want to get back to that, but no such luck. No. I meant to tell you. So in Huntsville, I was picking up my brother the other day from my mom's house, and I was turning onto University over by the Burger King over by Target. Uh-huh. And I was looking left so I could turn right to check for oncoming traffic. And, they had those LED billboards that kind of cycle through ads. Mm-hmm. I was sitting there and the Mercedes-Benz ad popped up. And it was just a picture. And I was like, is that Kim from the Shenanigans?
Oh, wow.
She was one of our guests on our podcast this season. And she, her face just popped up. And I was like, and it said Kim Peter, or what, I can't remember the last name, but it said her name, and I could see a little bit of text that said teacher and comedian. So I immediately texted her. I was like, Kimberly, what is this? Why is your face on a billboard? She's like, I bought a car, and I wrote a review, and they liked it so much they put me in a commercial.
Oh, wow.
So, and I was like, she's like, I didn't even know I was on a billboard. So she sent me a video of the commercial. And I was like, come on, Kim.
That's awesome.
She must be doing pretty well because she got herself a Mercedes.
Yeah.
So, I was super happy for her.
That's great. Yeah, definitely.
Yay. So, if you're in Huntsville, go to Shenanigans Comedy Theater and meet Kim, our local resident celebrity.
Yeah, or Mercedes-Benz to buy you a car.
That's right. Apparently, they have great customer service. Well, how's your head been? I know you've been suffering with headaches. The Botox hasn't helped any?
No, I think the Botox is actually a little worse. I'm not really sure. And then the weather doesn't help things because the other day, we had some really bad storms that came through. And that morning, everybody that came into work was like, oh my God, my head hurts. And I already had my shades on at work because
was this yesterday or
that was last Friday,
week? Okay.
Yeah. And we have one coworker that likes the lights on in our department, and she was going somewhere else. So we went to everybody and was like, "Hey, do you mind if we turn the lights off?" They're like, "No, go ahead. My head hurts." It was perfect. Majority of the people were just like, "My head hurts," and everybody else was like, "No, if y'all's head hurts, I don't care. I can work because we got little lights next to our computers and our cubicles and such." And so I turned off the lights for 3 hours. We had it just perfect. And then our boss comes in. She's like, "Why is the lights out?" And It's the light
Damn it,
switch, and we're
woman.
like, damn it. But we had a nice 3 hours where it was dark, and it was,
That's
you know,
good.
and I'm more productive that way, to be
Yeah.
honest, because my head doesn't hurt nearly as much. I could take my glasses off, the display, the brightness on the computer screens are down, and I was just booking it, just getting some work done. But it is what it is.
It
But
is
yeah,
what
it
it is.
still hurts every day, but I don't know. We'll hopefully figure it out. That's trial and
There you
error.
go.
That's all it is.
Mom and Kalia have both been like sneezing a bunch, and Mom's like, "Oh, I'm getting sick again." I was like, "Mom, you are in a very allergy prone valley." I was like, "I don't think you're." I mean, Austin had pretty bad some sort of pollen. I can't remember, but it was really bad pollen. That
Ragweed?
I think it was ragweed.
Okay.
I think it was a tree pollen.
Okay.
But I remember a lot of Austinites had it too, but we haven't lived there in 20 years.
Right.
And Friday I got, well, speaking of Botox, I got Botox,
Right,
but not for
yeah.
headaches, because I was like, I have these deep furrow, what are they called? Brow furrow lines. So I got the 11s in between my eyebrows. And, Zane and Claire are always asking me if I'm upset or mad. I was like,
Right.
no, goddammit, I just have apparently a resting bitch face. So I was like,
Resting worry face.
yeah, well, whatever it looks like. I have deep furrow brows. So I was like, I've gotten Botox in the past, but they didn't freeze up my brows. So I was like, I'm going to go back in. And there's a new version of the Botox called Xeomin, and our friend Griffin had told me about it. So I was like, ooh, I'm going to go try it out. So
Be fancy with it.
fancy. And I got it. It's cheap. It was a lot cheaper than the Botox.
Okay.
It was only like it would have been like $290 for the treatment, but I got a $50 gift card or some shit like that. But now I can't furrow my brows. I can't look concerned anymore. And I hung out with John, my little brother, last night, and I was telling him about it. And he was just like, "Why the fuck do you care?" I was like, "Motherfucker, when you're getting close to 50 and you're shallow like me, you will understand."
And you have families that asking you all the damn time, all right, what's wrong? What's
Yeah,
wrong,
what's
baby?
wrong?
What's wrong? Why you look like that? And you're just like, I'm just looking.
So, and what was funny is that John is the most like image conscious teenager I know. He's always like grown his hair out and really concerned about his beard, because he's still kind of patchy on his face, but he's got real thick
Underneath the chin.
yeah, like the Amish do.
Yeah.
And it's real thick there, but it's real patchy on the cheeks. So I was just like, shut up, man. So yeah, but that was the first time I've hung out with him, and ever since Matt and John got their driver's licenses and have cars that they can drive on their own, I never say those shitheads anymore.
No, well, you knew that was going to happen with them being teenagers.
Well, I told them when they were like 10, 12, I was like, you're going to hit teenage years and you're not going to hang out with me anymore. And they're like, no, we're not. I'm like, okay, babies.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't feel, I missed them a bit, but it's also like, I wasn't surprised by it.
Right, yeah.
Oh, these kids.
All the kids.
All them kids.
Yeah.
Well, Miss Jennifer, what are we drinking?
We are drinking a Shiraz that is called Point Taken, and it has a bull on it. It's very, very cool looking bottle.
I like this red. I like better than the last one we did. Right now we're in for 4 of our listeners.
Hi, Mom.
We're doing the Advent calendar right now, so you're gonna be hearing about this Advent calendar from Costco. So one bottle is like literally 2 pours for Jennifer, one for me.
Yeah.
And we get halfway done and we're like, I need more wine.
Yeah.
Because normally it's like we'll have a big bottle and it's like 2 really good pours and we'll top each other off
That's
at the end.
right.
But I like this one. I don't remember what I think for our next episode I grabbed a white.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it
I want to
goes.
say it was a Sauvignon Blanc, wrong.
Yeah, I think it was.
Because I think you said when you took it out, but we'll see.
I'm liking this better. The last one we got was like, no, the white we got was super sour.
Yeah.
I just don't like
that was
it.
rough. Zane ended up finishing mine just because I was like, I'd rather have something else right now.
Yeah.
And I'm at that age where I don't drink, stuff I don't like no more. I won't waste it. Now, if there's no one else that will drink it, I'll chug it just to get it gone. But since Zane liked it, I was like, here, you drink mine. I'm going to go get me some Bourbon Barrel because that's one of my favorites. Yeah.
Yay for Costco. Yay for my mom for a good Christmas present.
Yes, definitely. To help us out on the podcast.
Yay.
So we don't have to decide.
That's right.
We just pick one bottle out of the box and we figure it out.
Oh, so what are we talking about today, Miss Jennifer?
We're talking about vacations. Yes.
We were right before we got on the air, right before we got in front of the mics. We were discussing. We were trying to put together the outline. I was like, "What the hell are we talking about?" And I was like, "Should we talk about vacations? Haven't we talked about that?" And we had to go look through all our outline history to see if we could find anything about vacations. I don't think we did. I think no, that was line. Line one we
We've
re-recorded.
talked about vacations while we've talked, like how's your week been,
Yeah.
and then different stories have come up while we've been on the air. I'm copying you. While we've been talking to other people, or when we talk, amongst ourselves, because all the stories, all the topics kind of relate.
Yeah.
It could be one day you'll have lying, and then
Bullying,
vacations, hygiene, all that stuff will come together. So,
Yeah.
but this one is just going to be dedicated. And I think that was on your mind because we are going on vacation this weekend for spring break. Yay.
We're just doing a short little trip down to Destin.
Yep.
I thought it'd be fun to. I just feel bad for my mom because she just moved here and she's 80. She'll be 81 this summer, and her mobility is kind of limited because she hurts so much. She's been cooped up at the house, and she used to travel all the time. So let's do a quick beach vacation.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I went and bought a metal detector for the kids. And
They're using it all around the house and
my
on
God.
you and your hip.
It was when we got it. I was like, Clea, test to see if it works on my hip. So she scanned my left hip. It didn't beep, but when she got over my right, I was like, it started beeping pretty loud. I was like, okay, it works. So she got this amazed look on her face.
And then Wesley found a hammer in like the side yard or the front yard.
Well, and when I first got it, we were walking back from the store because it was a store right around the corner from my house, and there was someone had dropped a handful of pennies. I was like, "Oh, Wesley, pick those up, and we'll see if it'll pick it up with a metal detector." So we get back to the house and we set it up, and I was like, "Oh, push some into the ground." And he did, and I forgot where he put them. So I'm like, I don't know where they're at. So there's probably about 10 cents worth of pennies shoved into my dirt somewhere in the side yard. But we found the ones he scattered. But there must be tons of metal shit all in my yard because it was beeping constantly on the side yard. And he's like, "Can we dig it up?" I'm like, no. We're going to the beach. You can dig it up there.
We don't want to mess with underground power lines or gas lines or water lines.
Surely it's not that sensitive to detect power lines.
It might be hardcore. I don't know.
Hardcore. Yeah. So I think they're excited. I think we'll have a good time. Wesley. I was getting so fucking mad at Wesley because we were talking about going to the ocean, and he's a good swimmer. He's strong. He's confident. Probably overly confident.
Overless.
But he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get into the." He's like, "If I get deep into the ocean, will you come save me?" I'm like, "You're not getting out of my grasp,
right,
little man." I was like, "We might go up to our knees or my knees." You'll probably be almost waist deep, frankly. Well, he's not that short, but you'll be maybe waist deep, but we're not going too deep because there's undertows, and we were having to explain all this shit.
Yep.
But of course, he doesn't believe any of us. So.
And then he got mad when he asked me if I would save him if he was out there. I'm like, baby, I can't get to you. I mean, by the time an undertow gets you, you're gone.
Yeah.
I can't swim that fast, run that fast, any of it. So that's why you're not going in the deep, deep part.
Yeah.
You're going to see the floor. That's it. You're going to see the sand.
Mm-hmm. Well, and when we went to Biloxi, was it when did we go? 2 years? It was 2 years. It was when Mom was still in Texas, so probably 2 years ago. It was in the middle of COVID, so it was 2021, I think. Yeah, and I took the kids out to the beach, and it was I don't know what was going on with the Gulf Coast that day, but there was no wind, and that water, there was no waves whatsoever, and it was hot, and that water is, I don't know if it's the water, I think it's the sand, but it's just ugly.
Yeah, it's not very pretty.
Yeah, it looks pockmarked almost. Yeah. I'm guessing maybe it's oil. I don't know what it is, but it's the beaches are kind of pretty, but as soon as you get to the water, it's these black splotches of sand, I guess. I don't know. Biloxi beaches were not attractive.
I stayed in the Indian River. I was like, I'll watch you guys.
And we walked out probably to my calves.
Yeah.
The kids, a bit deeper for them, but I think Kalia stepped on something and ran for it. She stepped on something and it shifted underneath her and she ran for it. Wesley was like, "Can we go out to that spot?" It was a little bit deeper, but the water was so still and shallow that we didn't do anything. Right. So we walked out there. But even he was kind of holding on to me for dear life. But he's such a young, dumb, confident young man that he'll just do something stupid and get himself in trouble.
Yep. Yep.
But it should be a fun trip.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm ready.
Yeah. We have a good time. We got, I'm like, I should buy all this stuff. I'm like, we're going to be on the beach for maybe 3 or 4 hours.
If
tops.
Yeah.
Because since this is a auditory medium, Jennifer and I are and Zane too, are pasty white people who do not tan.
Nope.
And we have heavily melanated children who who barely need sunscreen.
Yeah.
But our asses are going to be like huddling under parasols. And like, ooh, don't burn.
Yeah, don't want to burn.
But
yeah.
It should be a good time.
I'm excited. So our very first trip as a family was to Gatlinburg, right?
Was it?
I think that was the very first trip that we took them when we first got them in the summertime, and then we went in the fall and we went to Gatlinburg.
That was their fall break, wasn't it?
That was their very first. That was our very first trip, I want to say, and it was an interesting trip.
2019, we went to Gatlinburg. We went to Dollywood.
Dollywood. We rode like 3 rides and then we left.
Our dear friend EJ.
Yeah.
We're blaming that on you, EJ.
Definitely. But it was still new. Everybody was new with each other. And at one point, for some reason, both kids decided they wanted to hang all over me. And Wesley was getting jealous and getting mad, and then he didn't want me after she stopped hugging me or trying to hold my hand.
Oh, that's right. At Atasca, or it was the mount. We went up on the chairlift thing.
Yep.
And the kids were like fighting, we had to put them on a schedule of like 15 minutes each holding on to you because it got really obnoxious.
And then he got really bad and mean about it. So then he ended up being with you the rest of the night. Like when we went to that bad Mexican restaurant we went to. I sat with Kalia. She was like mine, and then Wesley was.
Yeah, we had to take him down off the mountain on the chairlift because he was just being such a butt.
Yeah, he was. It was still new and everything, but I was glad that we do our family vacations together because then I have someone's help.
Yeah,
because that really did help. I'm sure it made him even more jealous because I had Kalia as quote unquote mine.
Yeah,
but he didn't like me very much, so I can't do anything if you don't like me,
I think Kalia was feeling like you were she'd grown up with her mom and a foster mom, so she was just like gravitating towards some comfort.
Yeah.
We don't have that problem anymore.
No.
Now they want to hang on me more than anything.
Yep.
But that was beyond that part of it. I had a good time at Dollywood itself. Well, Kalia was having to come apart, I think, when we went to Dollywood the next day, and EJ showed up, and I had to, like, pull her aside and yell at her because she's being so fucking obnoxious.
Yeah, because I think we did one roller coaster. She was just after that.
No, that was before it.
Was it before it?
Yeah, we went to the kiddie section. Remember, like,
I know we rode the elephants.
Yeah, we did that, but it was like it was before we did the one roller coaster. She was just being a shit. And I can't remember what it was about, but I had to like pull her aside and put her in timeout a couple of times because bitch.
Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with you? But in their defense, this was also like 2, maybe 3 months after we gotten them, so it was a lot for them.
It was a lot for them.
So.
And for the majority part of it, they did pretty good, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
They talk about that trip, so I think.
And we went back to Gatlinburg this past summer, and we did, instead of Dollywood, which I'd still like to go back to because we didn't get to do much, but we just did.
We went with your mom, so we couldn't have done Dolly last time.
No, well, she wouldn't have wanted to, but I had a good time. We went to Ober Gatlinburg.
Yeah, Ober Gatlinburg.
Yeah, and it's very run down and old.
Yep.
But I enjoyed it, and it was perfect for the kids.
The kids just absolutely loved it all day long. They just did all the things that do there.
There was a lot to do there, too.
And then going down in the inner tubes and going down the hill, that was a lot of fun. They really liked that.
And the mountain coaster, they enjoyed that, too. Yeah. Although Wesley was Wesley was insistent he did it alone.
Yep.
He did his own cart. Mm-hmm. And you're like, okay, that's fine. And I was going to ride with Kalia, but they have a weight limit. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, Kalia and I's combined weight was too much. So you had to do it. He about came unglued because he's like, no, I want you to ride with me. And I'm like, well, Kalia can't do it alone. She's
Yeah.
too scared. So you're going to have to... God, it was such a...
And then he rode the brakes the whole time and made Benjamin stop behind us because he kept braking. 'cause
And he was talking
scared.
about going fast the whole time.
Yeah. It's that bravado he has that I can do it all. And then when he does, it's like, oh, shit, I just talked the wrong way, crazy kid.
But I liked that one better than Dollywood because they were better behaved.
Yeah.
I felt like.
Yeah. No, I think they did.
Yeah.
I don't remember them really having any come aparts, really.
And besides the occasional, like, being butts to each other
Right.
on occasion, it really was a really good trip.
Yeah.
And I think my mom really enjoyed it too.
Yeah.
She's not going to be able to do these things much longer. So
Right.
I appreciate the fact that you are, we can all do it together.
Oh yeah, I don't mind that at all. I mean, I love your mom. Your mom's awesome.
I wish your mom would come on some of them. I know, but I still wish.
I
Yuta,
love
you're
my
invited.
mom, but yeah, that's not her idea of fun. Going with kids,
I still love Yuta. I want to hang out with her more.
Yeah.
I think I'm trying to think back. So we did Dollywood that first year. Mm-hmm. Did we do? I don't think we did anything because it was COVID right after that,
Yeah.
so we couldn't do much.
No, then we did the Biloxi trip,
Then we did the Biloxi trip.
which I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, I did too.
We stayed at a condo that had a pool, so the kids just pretty much spent the entire time at the pool. And then
with 1 hour at the beach, maybe.
Right, with you. Well, I mean, watching. And then, the restaurants were nice. Like, the brunch place we went to right before we left was really nice.
And we were forced to sit outside because of COVID, or the windows were open, so it was lovely.
It was lovely. And the kids just had an absolute blast.
Yeah.
That's all they really want to do. Pool. Second trip to Gatlinburg, we got a place that made sure that we had a pool, and they stayed in that a good bit.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And then Kalia went down the slide by herself and was okay because she was very apprehensive about
At the second Gatlinburg trip?
Trip.
Okay.
She did not want to go down the slide by herself. So I was like, I'll stay at the bottom and I'll catch you in case, because, usually you dunk when you go on a slide. And she came down and I caught her and brought her back up, and she was like, I want to do it again. And then she just did it. Found some little girl. She is a friend finder. Oh my God. She'll find a friend anywhere. And she just went with these two little girls.
Find a little girl and be like, you want to be my friend?
Yep.
And they're just besties for the rest of the night.
And she found two little girls, and they went up and down them slides probably like 40 times. I'm like, I'm not catching you no more. Like after the third time, so I'm like, you got this. You're brave enough to get up and go down. You're good. And she'd swim to the edge. So I think she just didn't trust herself enough to swim the distance to the ladder. But I watched, and she always had it. Because me, I'm always watching the kids and making sure that they're okay, but she's having a blast.
Oh yeah, she had a great time.
Yep.
And it was an old hotel, but I think it was perfect for the kids, and I thought it was reasonably priced.
It was,
so.
And we had the adjoining rooms, and
it took forever for them to open the adjoining thing.
It had been sealed shut.
Yes.
He had to fight that sucker to get it open.
I do remember. We had the Biloxi trip in 2021. And that's when you turned 40. So that summer in May, we went to Vegas without the kids.
Right.
And we have some very generous friends and families because my mom watched Kalia while we were gone for that week. And it was like, they were still virtual.
Yep.
Or no.
No, they were going to school.
Oh, that's right. They were.
Because Emmett had to drive Wesley to school.
That's right.
Pick him up.
Ceci and Emmett watched Wesley and took him to school. And my mom watched Kalia. And she was very generous, and she was afterwards. She's like, "I'm not sure I would have done that for y'all." She's like, "I wouldn't have pulled y'all out of school for that long." I'm like, "Well,
yeah,
whatever."
It was for my 40th, because my 30th I didn't get to do anything because Huntsville had a huge tornado storm with a whole bunch of tornadoes come through around us, and then TVA had all their big power lines go down, so there was no power to Huntsville for like a week. And it was on my birthday that no power. I had to work 12 hours. And we also were implementing a new system right when we did get our power back on. Yeah. So it was hell.
Yeah.
So I was like, my 40th, I'm going to do some big. And yeah, we did have a mount. Well, I mean, they weren't really. Did we have them
No,
out?
it was Disney where they were out
Okay,
for
okay.
a week.
Okay, so they did go to school. Nothing was bad. But when we took them to Disney, which was in 22, because we did it in February.
Yeah. That was a week.
We took them out for Monday through Friday, and I got a letter from the school.
Yeah. No, Kalia was virtual during that trip.
I don't think Wesley was.
Well, I don't know
Maybe
about
it was
Wesley, but I know
Sunny
Kalia was.
Hereford versus Blossomwood, I guess.
Because I remember my mom having to sitting there with her teacher and teacher hating it. I could tell the teacher was like an old school teacher, like she'd probably been there 30 years and I think she got sick of it and retired. Mm-hmm. So my mom, like, you could tell she was struggling too, but she did it. And I was like, go Mom.
Yep.
That was a fun trip. If we ever have a non-kid related podcast, we'll tell all those stories.
Yeah. Because there was no kids involved. It was nice. I mean, I did miss my son. I will say that. I did miss him while we were gone.
I would like to go back with the kids to Vegas. I mean, if we just picked a hotel with a great resort pool.
Well, yeah.
And, like, frankly, take them to Circus. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't see the problem.
I guess not.
And, like, there's plenty of, like they're expensive, but, like, even the Cirque du Soleil shows are incredible for kids.
Yeah.
But
I just don't want to spend them. I just think of Vegas. Adults. I don't want to do kid stuff. Even though we did kid stuff, like, you know, we did touristy stuff, the Grand Canyon and the Hoover Dam. I just feel them like just Wesley trying to jump off or some shit. Like, you know, I don't feel like I would have fun. I would not relax like I did when we went.
I will say I would like to take them back just to do some of the water activities around Hoover Dam because it seemed like there was a lot of, like, lake shit you can do, and I think that would have been fun. Although Lake Mead will probably be empty by the time we get back there because they're so low.
Yeah,
but it was a cool trip.
It was. I really enjoyed that one.
And to all four of our listeners, if you would ever bring your kids to Vegas, let us write us an email to guidetopoorparenting@gmail.com. Yeah. But I would my parents took me as a kid, and it was neat. But they had more disposable income too, so. Yeah. I don't know. I'd like to. What's funny is, like, as we get not older, but as we go into parenthood more, like, I want to take Kalia to, like, all these cool places and show her places. Right. And I tell Zane, I was like, let's go take Kalia to DC and show her the museums. Like, I don't want to take her to DC. She's not going to appreciate it. I was like, she probably won't, but she'll have, like, I remember my parents taking me to that kind of shit. And I didn't appreciate, I may not appreciate it at the time, but I certainly remember it. I'm like, wow, I had some really cool memories from that.
Yeah, and I feel like it's kind of, in a way, bragging rights to school.
Yeah.
I went to D.C. or I went to, Florida, or I went to Disney, Like, there's a whole bunch of things that because there's kids that are in school that have never left their city.
Well, let
alone their state.
When we first got Justin back in 2017, we took him to Texas for the first time. We stayed in a hotel in New Orleans, and I was like, "What do you think about the hotel?" He's like, "Oh, it's the first time I've ever been in a hotel."
Yeah.
You're like, God damn.
Yeah.
Talk about a culture shock.
Yeah.
I was like, let me check my privilege a little bit.
Right. Yeah. And when we went to Disney, it was Wesley's first plane ride.
Yep.
And I grew up on planes. Like, I was in utero on a plane, and then 6 months old on a plane because I'm Army brat. So I love planes. And he didn't seem to have he liked it too. He's ready to go on his next.
Kalia, that was her second trip, and she was fine with it too.
Yep.
Like
she sat with me, and she colored and watched her tablet, and she didn't really complain at all.
Yeah, they both did great.
Made me sit in the middle, though, little bastard.
You're too nice for that. So let's see. We did Vegas. Did we do anything that summer or fall?
No, Vegas was technically.
That was early May.
Yeah. I don't think we did.
Because that was 2020. No, that was 21.
2021.
Did we do it? Remember if we did anything else?
I don't think we did because we were waiting for Disney, which was February of 2022.
Yeah, that's right.
Because we were saving our money for that. Because that was...
It was. It wasn't expensive as Vegas.
No.
But it was fun. I don't know. I felt like we did pretty good on prices, though. Because, like, I got us that Airbnb. Mm-hmm. It was like a 4-bedroom house for $100 a night.
Yep.
Had a washer and dryer, which was great.
Right. And then a hot tub for the kids to play in.
And that's all I fucking wanted to do.
And that, and the pool, it was February in Florida, so it's not that cold, but it was still like 50 degrees.
Yeah.
And they were in the pool, and I'm like, I don't know how y'all do this, because I put my toe in. I was like, oh, heck no.
Heck no.
We stayed in the hot tub.
Yeah. Even in the hot tub, I was like desperately trying to get my shoulders under the water because I was so cold.
Yep.
But yeah. The Disney trip was an eye opener because if we ever do that again, I want to do a shorter trip.
Yep.
Or if we're going to do a longer trip, we have to have a day off.
Yep.
Where the kids just get to swim.
Yep.
And frankly, we get to recover because I was so tired.
Yeah, almost like 20,000 steps a day.
Yeah. I think we walked Vegas and Disney about the same because
Yep.
it was about 22,000 steps per day for me.
Yeah.
But Disney I was really disappointed because we'd picked it was early February if I remember correctly, to miss the crowds. We're like, oh, no one's going to be there. There's nothing going on. We get there and it is packed.
Yep. It's a cheerleading convention.
We did we did Epcot the first day because we were like, oh, it's the least. We were thinking it's the least populated. It's going to be the least popular park in general. Jam packed full of like families and cheerleaders and shit. And it was cold.
Yep.
It was rainy. It wasn't like pouring, but it was drizzly.
Yep.
And it was just not good. And the kids were miserable because we just dragged them all over that park.
We did.
And we were so fucking tired.
Yeah, all of the countries, we like walked by them really, really, really quickly. And
we did that. We did the Living Seas. Ate at that.
The aquarium place, right?
Yeah, the aquarium.
Yeah.
Which
wasn't that good.
Yeah, overpriced and gross, frankly.
The aquarium part was cool. But
yeah, the aquarium part was, I think, frankly, my favorite part of...
Yeah, the eating experience.
Yeah. Well, of Epcot, it was my favorite part.
Yeah?
I liked... Soar was up there, when we did the living with the land thing.
Yeah. The Soar where you, like,
where
smelt...
the kite... Yeah.
That was my favorite.
Yeah.
I liked that part of Epcot.
That was really fun.
Yeah.
I think what else we did at Epcot? The
light show on the golf ball was really cool.
Oh, yeah. You mean the fireworks show?
No, the light show on the golf ball.
On the
big...
Yeah, I know. You're just talking about the LED lights.
Yeah.
Okay.
The lights changed colors, so when we drove, because we left, because we were...
Cold and
miserable. And then we came back for the fireworks. And as we're driving up, the golf ball is changing colors. And it looks really, really cool. And then we get a good spot for the fireworks show. And the fireworks show phenomenal.
It was.
Oh, my God.
That was my favorite fireworks show.
Yes.
Because it was like, no matter where you were on the lake thing, great view.
Yep. And it was fireworks. And then it was the TV... video thing, and then there was music, and it was just like all your senses just kind of it's like so cool.
It was really neat.
Yeah, I really liked that one.
And then it was Sunday. We did Magic Kingdom.
Yep.
Jam packed with people.
Yep.
Early February. Like, what the fuck are you all doing here?
Yep.
Oh, it was so hard to get into anything. I think the longest line we waited in was Space Mountain, but I think we had a fast pass for that one. Yeah, we did.
I don't remember.
It was like the first one we did, I think.
Oh.
But I just remember...
I thought that was closed.
No, the Tron one was closed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We did definitely do that one.
But yeah, it was jam-packed. And I was... Like, it sucked because they were still in COVID protocol, so you couldn't get close to the characters.
Yeah,
and
everything was masks.
Yeah, and I, like, for our 4 listeners, I actually was a character at Disney for a year, and it was a blast because you'd, like, get to hug people and take pictures and sign autographs, but, like, everything was separated, and they kept you away from the characters, so it was just like, oh, well, I missed that.
Yeah, I think Magic Kingdom is that the place where I got a picture of Stitch behind me, and I had my Stitch shirt on?
Yep.
Coolest thing.
That was in Tomorrowland.
Yeah.
And we tried to do we did one thing, I don't know, I'm trying to remember all this shit. We did, remember the car thing?
Where the kids drove the cars?
Yeah.
Yeah, they really liked that.
They really liked
Wesley
that.
had a blast with that.
Yeah. Even though the cars went maybe as fast as you could walk.
Yeah.
And stank of gas.
Oh my
God
gosh.
bless.
Well,
I couldn't believe.
That's what they ran on.
I was amazed by it. I didn't think they'd run on gas, but they stank to high heaven.
He loved that. Magic Kingdom, was that where we first went and we watched the Cars show?
That was Hollywood Studios.
Okay, so that's the next step. Okay.
Yeah.
Just trying to put a lot of stuff. There was a lot to...
Yeah. And then Hollywood Studios, it rained, so we had to leave early, and we came back to do dinner and try and catch some rides, but no, we didn't leave. We just stayed.
We just left because we watched the Cars show. Then we did the Aerosmith roller coaster.
Yeah.
Then I took Kalia to see a Disney character, while you and Zane and Wesley did
the Aerosmith again, because I didn't get to go.
The Aerosmith. And then while we were waiting on the character, which we ended up, I think, seeing Olaf
Yeah.
And you guys decided to do was it the Dune thing, the free fall?
No.
No.
That's at
Universal?
Universal
Okay,
Studios.
sorry. There goes my memory.
We met up for lunch after that.
Okay.
And then I don't think we left because we did. Remember we did the Toy Story Land where we did the Slinky Dog ride.
Yeah. She had to come apart on that
I
one.
don't, like we never went upside down.
No, because that was all her thing. As I don't want to go upside down, and you had to pretty much make her get on this roller coaster, and then she had a blast. Ish. But I mean, yeah, it was fun. That one was fun. I liked that ride.
I just remember being so mad at them while we were at Epcot, and I feel bad because we really shouldn't have been mad, but we had dragged them around all day long, and all they wanted to do was go back to the hotel and swim.
Yes.
And we were both like, we have just spent several $1,000s for you motherfuckers to come here.
Yep.
And all you want to do is go swim.
Yep.
And I was telling that to my cousin Kelly, and she's like, "Oh yeah, my boys did the same." And I was like,
"Okay, it's just kids.
Wasted on these fucking kids."
Right. And then I think Hollywood Studios, because it rained that day, we ended up letting them. We left early to let them go, and then we went back for the light show.
No, there's not a light show. It's I don't think we left Hollywood because remember we didn't make the Star Wars ride, and we had to do that the old Star Wars ride like 4 times.
I thought that was Universal. No, okay.
Yeah.
There you go, my memory. Sorry, guys.
No, it was Epcot we left and came back because they were just so tired and cold.
Yeah, okay.
But
one night we ate Ethiopian. I remember that. We fed the kids, I think it was like Popeyes or something, McDonald's. And then we went and ateEthiopian.
Well,
I want to say it was Hollywood Studios because that was the day that we had to get their umbrellas.
It was Animal Kingdom.
Because
they closed early because there's no
fireworks. Yeah. Animal Kingdom was my favorite of all of the Disney ones, just because I love animals.
I like it too, and I think the kids really liked it too, just because of the safari and shit like that. I don't like Animal Kingdom because everything's so spaced out.
Well, yeah, you do have to walk a lot.
You walk so far to just go everywhere, and you're like, oh, let's go over here. It's a quarter mile away.
Yeah.
Where like at Magic Kingdom, it's like on top of each other.
Yeah.
But I think they had to do that for the animals, but it's still. Ugh.
Well, that safari ride was probably my favorite.
Yeah, that was a really cool one.
That was so cool because the animals, you could tell, were not caged in like normal zoos, and they're just walking around. We had to stop because some animals decided to walk in front of us. So cool to see all the different animals. And then we got a reprieve too because we got to sit down for a minute while we rode on the big truck thing, and that was a lot of fun. That was probably my favorite of Animal Kingdom. I mean, they had some good roller coasters, don't get me wrong, but that was nice. And the kids wanted to do, and then I love animals, so I was just like,
I was telling Jennifer that next time we go do something like that, I'm going to get the kids like little cheapy digital cameras and just give them like an SD card because I let Kalia take pictures on my phone, and I probably have like 300 photos.
Yeah.
Just of, I don't want to say bullshit, but it's just like a bunch of animals and no one in it, and she's never going to look at them again. And I'm like, go through delete all these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
But
and then you worry about her dropping your phone.
Yes, because she kept trying to like lean over the edge. I'm like, don't.
It's a cheap camera. Well, you know what? You don't have it for the rest of the ride. And then they have a little strap thing you can put on your wrist too. Yeah.
And they can both have a camera and take pictures of whatever the fuck they want.
Yep.
But Disney was fun. It was very tiring though. If we ever do go back, I do want to do a smaller chunk, and I would say on property. I want to spend the extra money because that shit. Being able to get there early.
Yeah.
And have a little time away from like the riffraff.
Yeah. That we were.
That we were.
Well, because we didn't get to do certain rides that I would like to go back and try to get on if I could. Like the Mickey and Minnie like the railroad ride, like where you're in like it looks like a.
Are you talking about the studios where you're in the movie theater?
No. It's the one where it looks like you're in a train car. Like in an old school, like mining cart.
Oh, was it Thunder Mountain?
No, it was like Mickey and Minnie's Railway or Railroad or something like that. I don't know. I've seen it in movies.
Okay.
So I kind of want to do that. And then the new Avatar, the one we didn't get to do.
Oh, yeah. I would have liked to have done the flight over Pandora. Remember when we got into...
That's the one I'm talking about.
Oh, was that the one?
Yeah,
I thought you were talking... Okay, yeah.
Because we got to do one, but it was stupid. It was in water, and it was the people talking. It was just stupid. And neither of the kids had seen Avatar at that point. Yeah. So it's like they're just way above their heads, and I've seen it once, and I'm like, okay, yeah, this is your break, but we took it like first. So it's like lost on us.
It's a Pandora world is what it was.
Yeah.
Or remember the E.T. ride from Orlando? Orlando's too.
Yeah.
You know, it was that.
Yeah.
With better animatronics.
Yeah. So I want to do that one, and then I would love to do the Guardians of the Galaxy because that's brand new.
Yeah.
It just came out, that sort of thing. So I'd say like one day we just try to get all the Disney stuff out of the way, and then spend the rest of the days Universal all the way because Harry Potter, me and Wesley are listening to all the books. We're on book 4 now.
Ooh, Goblet
and he's
Fire.
watching the movies after we listen to the book so that he can kind of see the difference between what the book shows because I'm trying to get him in reading. So I'm trying to show him, there's way more attention to detail in the books and they do other things than just what the movie can show because, they can't put everything in a book or it'd be 5 movies long for one book.
Yeah.
And so I loved Harry Potter World. Like Gringotts Alley was awesome with the fire and the dragon and the rides were fucking awesome.
They were really good.
And then Hogsmeade was so much fun. I don't like butterbeer. I've learned that. It was disgusting. And then
that was so
whatever
nasty.
I had was some green drink, and it was.
No, you had the butterbeer, and I had the green drink. It
yeah.
was so nasty.
Yeah,
both of them were gross.
Both of them were not very yummy. But I could say I had some butterbeer because I loved Harry Potter. Like I would wait at Barnes and Nobles when they first came out. Yes, I was 20 something, but I don't care. I loved them.
I kind of look so stupid, but I kind of want to buy one of the wands just to go do that bullshit where you flick your...
Yes.
Yeah. I was like, oh, that looks so dumb, but it looks so fun at the same time.
It does.
Spend $80 on a goddamn wand.
Yes, but I mean, you know what? If we have it, we're there. It was...
Yeah.
It was fun.
I will say I liked Universal Studios better than Disney, but I think a part of that was also...
Everything's close together.
Everything's close together. The weather on those days was nicer.
Yes.
And they didn't have the crowds that Disney had. So I think if Disney had not been as crowded, I probably would have liked it better.
Yeah.
But I had a really good time. And we got to be up close and personal with the characters.
Yeah.
Because we saw Captain America and...
we saw the Transformers. I mean, we still had to wear our masks, but we were next to them, kind of, taking pictures with our masks on. I will say there's a whole lot of those 3D, not like rides.
Yeah, 3D rides where they have a screen and they put you in a car and just fling you around.
Yep. So the Fast and the Furious, it was okay.
That was stupid.
Transformers was better, but it was still okay. Jimmy Fallon was okay.
That was stupid.
I mean, it was okay.
The King Kong one where he died.
Yeah.
Where the screen went blank.
Yeah, the screen blanked in the middle of that one. So there's a lot of those. So I would rather have the rides, if that makes sense.
There were several Jurassic Park ones that I wanted to do, but we just didn't have time.
Yeah.
So if we go back, I want to definitely do more Universal Studios. And I want to do the train in between Hogsmeade and Diagon Alley. Yep. I was like, that looked cool.
I said the alley wrong, I think, but that's...
Whatever.
Yeah. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
You know what you're talking about.
If not, then you do now.
Okay, so that was February of last year. And then last summer I had my right hip replaced, so we didn't do a whole lot because I was kind of out of commission. And I don't think we did anything last fall, did we? Remember?
That was Gatlinburg.
Oh, Gatlinburg.
Your mama.
Duh. Gatlinburg.
We've already talked about this.
Jason. I know. We didn't do New Orleans, though, for... Christmas. Yeah, we went down Christmas break. Yeah. That was an adventure. That was... we drove down Christmas Day, and...
It was not fun.
Yeah. It wasn't, but it was the food. Yeah. Finding food on Christmas Day is tough.
And gas.
Yeah. No, gas we didn't have too much problem with. We only filled up once.
Well, yeah, but, the gas station was wicked busy. Yeah. Oh my God, 20 people in line for Subway and 30 people in line just to buy
I don't even think
snacks.
we filled up, though, did we?
I did.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember. But I just remember getting into New Orleans. We couldn't... nothing open except for, super expensive places.
Restaurants where I'm not spending $50 for Wesley to be like, I don't like this.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah. And so I was like, I bet Crystal's on Bourbon Street in the French Quarter is going to be open. So we drive down to the French Quarter, and it's pretty empty, for the quarter. Right. And we park, and we walk up there, and there was 3 people deep in line. So we get in line, and there was a homeless guy there asking to use the restroom. And Clea looks up, and she's like, "Great." The cashier cussing. She's like, "Well, baby, this is New Orleans. You're going to hear that. Just be ready for it." Yeah. And then all of a sudden, the cashier and the homeless dude are cussing each other out left and right. And we're just like, oh, And Wesley's looking at you with big eyes.
And I'm like, don't look at him.
Yeah.
Just look at me. Don't smile at him. Just look at me. Like, don't give him a look because he will say something. Because I had just told them in the car, too. Y'all are going to see and hear some shit that y'all don't hear and see in Huntsville.
Yep.
Just deal with it. Just go with the flow.
Yep.
Don't make a big deal out of it. Don't ask a lot of questions until after the fact. Because I knew some shit like that was going to happen.
Yeah. And then as soon as she was done cussing him out and the homeless guy left, the cashier looked at her, Clea, and she's like, oh, baby, I'm so sorry. I was like, oh, whatever.
She just had a rough day. She was working on people because when we got in line, there was like 4 more people came behind us. So then they had the Uber Eats orders and the all the Grubhubs and all those different places coming in trying to get orders, and just 2 of them, a cook and a cashier.
And those poor women looked like they just did not have any fucks to give.
Yeah.
They're like, get your food or get
done.
the fuck out.
Yes.
It's like, we're working on Christmas for you dumbass people.
Yep.
So I was like trying to be as nice as I possibly could because I could just tell these ladies were done.
Yeah.
But they were nice. After that, everything was
great.
fine.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
We did Mardi Gras World.
Christmas Day, we're driving and getting there and finding food was the rough
pain.
Part. Yeah.
But Mardi Gras World was a blast.
Yeah.
I really had a good time with that. I wish the aquarium had been open.
Yeah.
The quarter was neat when the kids got to see it a bit. Although I got offered cocaine or something right in front of the kids.
They got to see a lot of homeless people.
Yep.
They got to see a lot of street performers. They liked that part of it. I got to eat my fries that I always have to get when I get there. My etouffee fries.
And the kids got to go buy stuff from the French market.
Yeah, with you. Well...
Zane. Well, and then Wesley walked off and left Zane after he took him to the restroom.
Oh, God. Yeah, that was a... Yeah.
Well, that'd be a good one for the story time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really, and then we did what did you call it? The city park.
Yeah. I had never been to before, and I've been in New Orleans so many times.
Ditto.
But never with kids. So finding things with kids, you found city parks. So we did you walked
the cemetery
first, and we talked about how none of the graves are underground and how they're all above ground, and then there's some that have graves and have dirt and grass, but it's all above ground. And then we showed them all of the different mausoleums and the cool things like that. And they were okay. Yeah. So they were like too bored, but they were like, okay, we're done walking now. Yeah. And then the city park was just like, wow. I loved it.
Yeah. I had been there once for a half marathon, or twice for a half marathon, but I never did anything in there. And, they have this beautiful pond you can rent paddle boats on, which is a blast. Although Jennifer's knee and my hip were like not liking those boats. The kids loved it.
We switched, the kids drive at one point, and they were doing it. I'm like, oh, I can handle this. And they're just sitting there and then burning off the energy. Yeah. All I want you to do is just burn off this energy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and then the sculpture garden, they both had a really good time with that. Yeah. I think the art museum, they were a little less enthused about, but they did a pretty good job with it.
When they started showing gold, Wesley was all about it,
Of course.
And the pictures, not so much. And then I told Wesley, because they had the exhibit that they had first was photographs for African American artists. Yeah. And so there's like a whole bunch of different African American artists showing their photographs, and they even did like old school ones from back in the day. And so I found those and was like, Wesley, did you know that some people back in the day would take pictures with their deceased loved ones? And he was like, that one's dead, that one's alive, that one's dead, Mom. I think that one's dead. That's what
that was about. I remember Clea and Wesley got into it a little bit. And she was like, Wesley's saying all these people are dead. And I was just like, well, it's old photographs. Probably are.
I was trying to make it interesting for him. And I know that even though it's a little macabre, but whatever. But, he was looking at them then, trying to see if he could figure out if they were dead or not, So I was just trying to teach him something too.
He always has to take it into somewhere that will annoy Kalia.
Yeah, definitely. They're our brother and sister.
They act like so much.
Oh my God.
But anybody that's listening, New Orleans, the quarter's a little iffy for kids.
Right.
Bourbon Street is definitely iffy. The street performers are interesting.
Yeah.
But I like Royal Street, where all the not museums, but the galleries are.
Yeah, the trolley. You
Yeah.
got to ride on a trolley.
Yeah.
And I liked City Park. That was probably my favorite part of that.
Yeah. I want to go back, and I would like to do the aquarium and the zoo next
Yeah.
time. I think the kids would really enjoy that.
Yeah.
That was a good trip.
Yeah, I liked it. That was Christmas. That was our Christmas gift to them. One of them.
Yeah. And I had a really great time.
Yeah.
We stayed out in the garden district. And
Yeah.
we weren't kind of like in the middle of all the craziness of the quarter.
Right.
Because I always get a little bit nervous about the quarter, because it's like, even as a grown man, I'm like, am I going to get mugged? Or I've never had any danger, but it's still like, it's a dangerous city.
It's a thought in the back of your mind. I think one of my favorite nights is the kids wanted to play on their tablets. We were kind of done. I think it was after City Park. We wanted them to kind of unwind a little bit. And we get back to the house and Zane's like, I got a nap. And me and you were like, I'm not tired. Let's go. So we went on a little adventure and we found a place to get a drink. And it was in a place, was it Magazine Street?
Yeah.
And so that was really cool. And then we get back and Jason's like, I need to take a break. And Zane's like, I'm ready to go. And then me and him find a distillery. And we get some flights. And it was
a lesbian-owned distillery.
And it was a really cool place. It was just not even half a mile away from where we were staying.
It was walking distance.
So we just walked right over there, had our drinks, came back, and then we ate Ethiopian.
That's right.
Yeah.
That was a good time.
We love to find our Ethiopian places.
Yes, we do.
That's for sure. And I love the food, so I'm okay with that. Because I took a trip last summer with Wesley to Orlando again.
Oh, yeah.
And my sisters drove Wesley down, and I just flew because I didn't want to ride that way because that's a long drive. And my sister was like,
13 hours from here, yeah.
Okay, I'll take them. And they had drama, and then I had drama because the flights kept getting delayed, and I had to rent a car because they weren't there yet, and I get back to the place. But we had a really good time, but I had rented the car because I was like, if I have to leave with Wesley or just get away from all, because there was 11 kids.
That's a lot of kids.
And 5 adults. Mm-hmm. So it's a big difference.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of kids. But we got this huge place that had like 8 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms. Like it was massive.
Oh, yeah.
And we all stayed in there, but I was like, I need to rent a car just in case I need to get away. And at one point they were like going to go swimming or something, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go get me some Ethiopian. And I drove. It was like a 30-minute drive to get there. I was like, I don't care. And I ate almost the whole thing by myself. I was very proud of myself. And then I brought some back and let my sister and my nieces try because they're the more adventurous ones.
Right.
And they liked it. Some of it they didn't like, some of it they did like, but overall I got to let them experience something new. Mm-hmm. And then also I got a little time to myself because my other sister watched Wesley for me because he wanted to go with the boys.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, that was good.
We've had some good vacations. Yeah. Not very little drama.
Yeah.
Like no accidents, no injuries, no major fights, no. I think the worst one we had was probably that first Gatlinburg.
The very first Gatlinburg, yeah.
But the kids, we barely had them any time at all. So.
Yeah. And they're mean to each other, definitely. Yeah. And we'll talk about that probably in the episode, how mean they are to each other. But they do like each other when they're by themselves more so than when other people are around, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And when they're just by themselves, they can be dicks to each other.
But yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a good segue.
That is a good. Yeah. So, if for all 4 of our listeners, if you have any funny stories about your kids,
or if you need some bad parenting advice,
email us at guidetopoorparenting@gmail.com. Mm-hmm. Ms. Jennifer, what are we having for snack time?
We are still eating some Girl Scout cookies because you bought like 12 boxes of these motherfuckers, and so we're just getting through them. I mean, some Thin Mints and some lemon cookies. I don't remember what they were called, but you know what I mean.
Lemon bullshit.
Yeah.
Well, we put on the story for a story time, the Wesley throwing a tantrum. Do you want to tell that one, or do you want to tell about the French market?
I can tell about the French market.
Yeah,
that's
do that
fine. I know Zane was pissed about this. I was going to get me an adult hot chocolate because there was this place that was making hot chocolate with real milk and putting some some Jameson in this sucker. And I was like, oh, hell yeah, let me get me some of that. So I got me a hot chocolate, and I got the kids hot chocolates. And Zane and Wesley went to the restroom together. And then Wesley just comes rolling up, "Who's that, my hot chocolate?" I'm like, yeah, baby. Where's Zane? Oh, he's still in the bathroom. Oh, okay. And so I'm, just drinking, and all of a sudden your phone rings. And Zane's calling, and he's asking, is Wesley there? And you're like, yeah, he's right here. And he's like, well, he just left me. And then so he rolled, like, he kind of storms over to us.
He was so pissed.
He was pissed. And so he came over and he was like, Wesley, come here. And so he had a talk with Wesley, and I'm sure it was something like, don't you ever fucking do that again.
Well, you had your own little talk with him, too.
And then I had a talk with him when I figured out what was happening, because I'm just in, like, my own world, drinking my hot chocolate with some whiskey in it and enjoying it, and then all of a sudden, all this shit happened. I'm like, what the fuck are you thinking?
Per Wesley, he's not thinking at all.
No, that's true. But I was just like, oh my goodness, because you do not do that in Huntsville, let alone in fucking New Orleans, because that's a crazy city.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going to happen, boy.
And we're in the French market. So, like, the place where we got hot chocolate is the food stalls, which is kind of the beginning of the French market.
Yep.
And the bathrooms are towards the back end. Mm-hmm. So he walked almost the entire length, or a third of, maybe a half of the French market alone. And admittedly, he's 12, but at the same time, New Orleans is not a safe city.
No.
And
I don't walk by myself.
Yeah.
And I'm 41.
I mean, if Kalia had done that, I would have come unfucking glued.
Yes.
But, oof, yeah.
So hopefully that taught him a lesson not to do that shit, but we'll see.
No, it didn't.
We'll see.
But it was yeah.
Yeah.
Good time. Good vacations.
Good times.
Well, thanks for listening to A Guide to Poor Parenting.
If you like our podcast, please give us a 5-star rating on whatever platform you're listening on.
Which is, frankly, just Apple Podcasts. But please give us some good reviews.
Yep.
If you don't like our podcast, just like we tell our kids when they ask if they can go back to Disney World.
Tough shit.
That's right. Shit's too expensive.
Bye.
Bye.